Hello everybody! Medieval Knights mean only one thing. This is Medieval 1212, a very, very famous mod for Pseudo War Attila, but this is not only Medieval 1212 actually, this is also a submod that I'm doing myself, and that aim to make this mod and this game in general a little bit more strategic for 1v1 land battles. It's not really balanced for anything else but 1v1. I guess it's also better for 40v40s rather than 20v20. So don't use it. Don't try not to use it in a siege battle. Actually, you can't use it at all because I'm not distributing it yet. It's not on the Steam Workshop. I don't plan on distributing it. I'm just testing it with my close friends and on the Seasons forum. So as of now, I mean, it's still, I'm still testing. There are a couple problems. Well, yeah, elephants are one of them, but also other problems such as only some formation works in the way I wanted it to, and then other problems such as fatigue being a little weird sometime. It just needs a little polishing, but it will take some time. Let me slow down a little so we can talk. So the first and probably most important, this submod actually changes a lot of things. So the reason why I started modding at all was that the units, there's no way basically in Attila to limit the ranks, so you can stretch your unit as wide as you want, which causes the units to form like two line deep formations that are ugly. I don't think they work. You can push through so much easily, like literally like everything pushes through, like the cavalry already goes through every single time it charges. So that was ugly. So what I did was adding some men to each unit. This is 1 per 5, it's not double armies. And I also added some horizontal spacing, while I reduced the vertical spacing. So they are tighter vertically, but they are looser. I mean, they're more loose horizontally. I also removed the loose spacing. I think it made it difficult for cavalry to charge on the archers because they basically couldn't reach all of them. So I just removed that. What I also did was adding more hit points to each unit. The hit points have been, I think at this point they are double the hit points they were before, or maybe like 180% or something like that. The attack have been halved. The missile damage is less now. And this all is to make the battles lower, to make the unit die less, because like in vanilla they just get slaughtered in a couple seconds. They die until the last man, and I think it sucks. It doesn't represent the reality. It's not tied at all at the reality. Like units used to rout more than fight until the last man. So I wanted to, like, most of the kills actually happen after the usually happen after the battle when the units were routing. You were chasing and killing them. So basically that's what happens now. The unit fight longer, they die less, but they also take a whole lot more fatigue. Now, before talking of the fatigue, let's talk about the spotting range. In Medieval 1212, every unit used to have, if I'm not mistaken, like a 2000 spotting range. Now it's not like this. Most of the unit have 200. Infantry has 200 spotting range. Cavalry has slightly better spotting range, but basically, I mean, not more than 300. And each unit cannot really see um, mm, anything into the trees. You need the light cavalry. Why you need the light cavalry? Because the light cavalry has better spotting range, both with without anything, like here, you know, in plain sight, and both into scrubs and trees. This is why you're seeing these Gusars here from. Oh, by the way, this is Kingdom of Serbia, or Banate, Grand Banate of Serbia. I don't remember. And this is the Teutonic Order, which, by the way, like these Al Bruder spearmen, they're cool as shit. Like, oh my god, look at them! They're so much cool. Alright, anyway, um, I was saying, yeah, the spotting range is different, and now you need light cavalry if you want to be able to even see anything at all. Little note, the general has been thought more to be like a sort of Napoleon general. He's not meant to fight. He has less unit. He has slightly less hit points, and I mean, it's still very effective, don't get me wrong. Like, you can still wreck entire units because of course it's heavy cavalry, but it's not as good as 130 heavy cavalry like this, so watch out for that. Another important thing is the fatigue system. The fatigue system have been completely changed. Now, basically, being idle restores fatigue a lot faster. Charging is very expensive. Let me speed it up a little. As I was saying, charging is a lot expensive in terms of fatigue. The combat is really makes your unit really tired, and on top of that, having like units that are exhausted causes like a large morale debuff, and also they basically lose all of their speed and all of their melee defense. So your units will start to die really fast. It will not drop, of course, because nothing drops with this submod, but they will lose a lot of men a lot faster when they're exhausted. Their charge should be halved when they're exhausted too, so you'll see like even the shock infantry will not, if exhausted, will not do the usual massive amount of kills. And so yeah, that's another point. Another something that has also changed is the shock cavalry, the heavy shock cavalry. The shock cavalry charges a lot faster. It accelerates a lot more. I think it also makes a whole lot more damage, but it is way harder to handle. First thing first, if you let them in combat, they will take like a massive exhaustion, and they will lose all of their speed. And if you try to run them while they're exhausted, they will basically walk. That's something that I was thinking of changing, but it seems kind of hard now. I have to think about it a little. I'd like them to still run, but I mean, even so, like, it makes sense. Look at them; they're basically tanks, so they shouldn't be able to run just as this cavalry, as an example. So yeah, this is another effect. And also they're way harder to handle when it comes like to charges. If you give a charge on the pike and the pike turns, if you want to disengage, you have to do it earlier, because if you remember late, then your cavalry will still charge into the pikes. They are harder to slow down, so that's also something. And I think that's basically it. Yeah, well. Oh, well, the formations. Formations are... Oh, what is this? Oh, these end gunners. Already made 4 kills. Handgunners and crossbows are still better than archers, but archers are a little better than medieval 1212, but you know, normal medieval 1212. So they do something now. Another thing is that missiles in general are supposed to die faster in melee now, while you know in medieval 1212 they stood forever even if you charge them with the cavalry. They should die a little bit faster now. They have less hit points and stuff like that, so they should die really faster. The last change I made was on the formations. Now, as you can see here, this pikeman is not in formation. The reason why he's not in formation is because letting some unit in formation makes them extremely tired. It not only makes them tired, but also for the pikemen, it makes them extremely slower, and it also, like, of course they are running now because they're not in formation, but they can, like, if they were in formation, they wouldn't run like this. They would be extremely slow, just as this pikemen. Okay, so these pikemen are in formation, and they are running, I think, here. Yeah, they're running, and they're really slow. And also, while they're in formation, they lose all of their melee attack. As you can see, is 0 now. This is because formations are meant to be only for defensive reason. Like, you can put on a formation just if you want to be extremely defensive. Otherwise, formations are just a loss of attack, a loss of fatigue, and they're not really worth it. I made it so it's not awesome, but I made it so because otherwise, with this fatigue system, the formations would be basically OP, because it seems like they tire a little less while they are in formation. So I had to make it so that they were not so OP, and also they gain mass entity when they're in formation, so they still do a lot of kills. And on top of that, like, you can still use your pikes and do some damage even if you don't use them in formation. Like, still here are doing a lot of kills, like 76, just because my spearmen were running. My spear, as an example, made 2 kills so far, so that's very... I think that's the way it's supposed to work. You don't want your pike always to be in defensive formation, like in pike formation, if you don't want to hold, but they will still use their pike to kill. So that's fine in my opinion. Same for the Halberdiers, for the pole arms here. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're still in formation. No, they're not. Oh, they're dying. That's fine. My cavalry here wrecks the rear of the spike. The morale system has also been reworked. As I said, the fatigue causes the unit to rout a lot faster, and also being charged from the rear means basically that your unit is gonna rout most of the time. I put like a massive morale debuff to being charged on the rear. Not a lot of debuff on being charged on the flank, but that's just because I didn't want units to rout in a weird way. Because unfortunately, like, most of the units get a charge on the rear debuff most of the time, so like putting that on, and even if they're not being charged on the flanks, they just take it because some unit just keeps on going. Like the shock infantry, as an example, like if you engage with one unit, your shock infantry, and then you engage another unit, and then pull the first one off, okay, you basically cycle charge. You charge one, then you charge another one, and then you try to run the first one. My shock infantry will just chase and push through the second unit. That's unfortunately what they do every time. So even in medieval 12, even in Attila, even in Rome 2, is always happening. You always get a debuff from being attacked on the flank, which honestly sucks. So I didn't want And so yeah, I mean, if you want to break a unit, you have to put some more effort and go actually on the rear of the unit and charge it. So well, yeah. Oh, got some good charge here. Try to pull off my heavy shock cavalry, but I have my heavy spearmen here to face the Great Banner of Krakow. I think this is Poland, actually. This is not Serbia. I'm pretty sure this is Poland. Oh, he's gonna get... Okay, so look at this. He's exhausted, as you can see. He gave the order to walk because he's exhausted. I will realize, because when you're exhausted, you get basically no charge. Even if you're actually charging, you get no charge either. I'm sorry, no charge buff, so... well, anyway, my cavalry is gonna die against this shock cav. This is just way better. On top of that, I think my Sudovian skirmish cavalry already took some damage earlier. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna lose them. Oh, his general, I think his general actually charged through my pole arms and lost a lot of men. And also, I shot him with the javelins. He's also tired. Well, well, somebody lost his mount here. Heavy spears are holding. Well, the artillery is not really doing that good. I actually have seen better with the infantry. I mean with the artillery. Look at how slow the cavalry is when it's very tired, and it's gonna be even slower if you're exhausted. And also run, like, you should walk your cavalry instead of running it, because it actually running causes some fatigue. So, like the fact that this tank's actually lower. Well, on this side, I had some chance to do cycle charges from the rear and also to charge from the rear. So this side is pretty much all clear. It must be said that this mod tends to, you know, for its own nature, tends to favorite who has better positioning, and I definitely had, because I have this massive hill in which it couldn't do anything. Like charging uphill would have been would have been completely crazy. So especially with the shock cavalry being so sturdy, you really don't want to charge uphill because you get less acceleration and lose the charge bonus every time. So I think he made the right decision here, try to go for the forest and avoid the huge hill I had here. But unfortunately, I had better cavalry on this side and just could destroy everything. My general actually made a lot of kills. Let's see here as he charges this spearman that it's attacking my trebuchet. Alright, so as you can see now, the morale is going really bad for the spear unit because it's being attacked in the rear. And it's also very tired. So it means that most likely this unit, yeah, exactly, this unit will break with massive problems. My general is winded. It will probably get exhausted if I keep. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how it's considered when a unit is running and we're chasing. I don't know if it's combat, but if it is combat, my general is very high. Let's see elsewhere what's going on. I eventually break this. Oh yeah, I cycle charge again on this axeman here, and I break them. Okay, look at this cavalry unit. I think it's always the same. This is shock cavalry. It's exhausted and it's running, but actually it's walking just because it's completely exhausted. You should have walked them here, but again, it's really hard, especially because I'm pretty sure you can't expand the icons here in Medieval 1212, because otherwise you would lose some of the icons for pole arms or huntsmen. So it's kind of hard to realize that you're running instead of walking, especially if it seems like you're walking. But yeah, this is very unfortunate. He's probably gonna lose his cavalry if I remember to give the charge order, I mean the shoot order on the light enemy. As I do. Oh, my trebuchet is still shooting. That's good. Huh. It's not fire arrows anymore, but it's okay. As long as I kill them, it's fine. Everything here is exhausted. My police should be. It's a little bit fresher and it's very tired. As you can see, they are routing and they have 203 men. They only lost 37 men, but that's enough because they're exhausted, and I'm pretty sure they don't have their general anymore at this point, if I'm not mistaken, and they're just dying. My shock infantry is very tired. I'm pretty sure they're just chasing the pikes, the Attila pikemen. Poor boys. The crossbowman, god damn, the crossbowman did a lot of damage. The way I thought the missiles is that they have to die in route quickly if you charge them. So in melee they should route quicker, but they shouldn't. But they should also kill a lot faster when they shoot. So, oh, well, levy spears. Brought a lot of levy spear, levy infantry, and stuff like that. Oh, there he is. Like, he's moving his cavalry now, so he's just walking. Well, it's routed. Well, it's over. But anyway, walking makes your fatigue go up again, which is what you want eventually. You have to walk your cavalry a little to make them less tired. So yeah, well, the battle's over. I almost all the time I spoke about the mod. So yeah, we're still we're still testing. I don't know whether or not I will publish it. Probably not. Probably I'll just keep it for who really wants to play it. I can send it. I just want to keep it under my control, I guess. To see the effects and what happens, if it's balanced, if it's not balanced, and so yeah, I hope you like the video. Well, this was a close victory. Played really well. This is Poland, not Serbia. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. I will probably do more videos as I develop the submod, and I will also give you some new about that. But roughly everything has been done the way, and probably I will leave most of the things as they are. So yeah, well, I hope you liked the video. See you next time.